Most people know Corey Harrison as Big Hoss from Pawn Stars, but behind the scenes, his story at the gold and silver pawn shop had a bunch of crazy twists. From tough family talks to personal problems and a really bad car crash, Corey's road to losing his part of the shop was full of drama. And guess what? His divorce and his grandpa's will were a huge part of it. But before we spill all the tea on why Corey lost his ownership, we gotta go back and see how everything started. Richard Corey Harrison was born on April 27, 1983. He's the son of Kim and Rick Harrison and the grandson of Richard Benjamin Harrison. Together, they all owned the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas. Corey has two brothers, Adam and Jake Harrison. From the time he was super little, Corey was always around the pawn business. It was the family thing that shaped his whole life and job. Corey started working at the gold and silver pawn shop when he was just 9 years old. Even as a kid, he was right in the middle of all the action, learning everything from his dad and grandpa. That super early start gave him a solid base for his future in the shop. As he got older, Corey started doing way more at the shop. Everyone called him Big Hoss, and he ended up running the daily stuff and watching over 30 employees. That was a big deal. And Corey showed super fast that he was a huge reason the shop did so well. He bought more stuff than anyone else there, and always spotted the valuable things and good deals. Corey's life wasn't always easy. Scenes on the super popular TV show Pawn Stars often showed Corey arguing with his dad and grandpa. Those fights were usually about what he knew about the stuff in the shop, his manager jobs, and the sales he made. One thing that kept coming up was Corey buying expensive items, which sometimes made Rick and the old man mad. Corey wasn't just famous inside the shop. His dad Rick and his buddy Chumley showed up as themselves in the November 3, 2012 episode of the American TV show iCarly called I Lost My Head in Vegas. That fun crossover proved how big Pawn Stars and its people had gotten, and it brought Corey and the shop to even more people. Corey Harrison's personal life has had lots of highs and lows, especially with his marriage and divorce from Karina Harrison, who people call Kiki. Karina got famous just because she married Corey, the star of the huge TV show Pawn Stars. Even though they weren't together long, people are still super curious about her. Karina was born and raised in San Diego, California. Her Greek background shows in her name, which means maiden. Even though she was only in the spotlight a short time, she's kept most of her life private. Nobody really knows how Corey and Karina met, because Corey is super private and never talked much about their relationship while the show was on. After dating quietly, they got married on May 26, 2017, in a small ceremony in Karina's hometown of San Diego, with only close family there. But their marriage didn't last long. Just a year later, the couple was having a hard time because their work schedules didn't match and their jobs were too crazy. Corey said in an interview that even after they split, they still really cared about each other. He said, "Karina and I love each other very much. With our crazy work schedules, we just couldn't make the marriage work, but we're still good friends and want the best for each other." Corey filed for divorce in August 2018, and it was all done super fast by September 10, 2018. Even though their marriage ended, the couple had one really big happy thing together. In October 2018, they had a son and named him Richard Benjamin Harrison to honor Corey's grandpa that he loved so much. Corey said he felt happy and super nervous about being a dad. Karina said she hoped their son would get Corey's eyes. Karina Harrison had a good job as an executive assistant in Las Vegas before she married Corey. That kind of job usually pays between $60,000 and $90,000 a year in the United States. Since they split up, Karina has stayed private, but she probably kept growing her career using her skills and experience to find new jobs. Fun fact, this wasn't even Corey's first divorce. He was married before to his high school sweetheart Charlene in 2009, and they broke up in 2015. Even with all Corey's personal stuff going on, the biggest thing that changed his life and job was a car accident on September 13, 2023. It happened in Las Vegas when Corey's Ford F-250 swerved into a bike lane, and he got arrested for driving drunk, DUI. That night, he got pulled over around 2 a.m. The police officer saw his eyes were red and smelled a strong alcohol smell from the truck. Corey said he only had one drink on a flight from Minnesota, where he was filming Pawn Stars Do America. But the way he acted said something different. Corey failed the walking tests that police do on the side of the road. He later said it was because his right shin was really infected and the ground wasn't flat. Even with those excuses, there was a lot of proof against him. When the breath machine broke, they took his blood instead, and the results got him arrested and booked for DUI. Driving drunk is a super serious crime that can kill people. Alcohol messes up your thinking, moving, and reactions, so it makes driving dangerous. In Corey's case, that bad choice put his life and everyone else's in danger. The punishment came fast and hard. He could get big fines, jail time, and lose his license. Since he's famous from Pawn Stars, his arrest looked extra bad to fans. A ton of people got mad online, and he got suspended from the show. People were really upset about the risk he took and the example he set. After the crash, Corey put out a statement saying sorry and promising to fix his drinking problem. He said he'd get help and support groups that stop drunk driving. That was a big step for getting better and fixing how people saw him. It showed he was owning up to it. Corey also said his truck had some mechanical problems and his infection messed up his balance. He swore he didn't drink anything after he landed in Vegas, even though the police said different. After 7:36, the car crash, and all the legal mess, Corey had another tough thing: his health. Everyone calls him Big Hoss, and his health story got serious when he found out he was pre-diabetic. That scared him enough to totally change his life so he wouldn't get really sick. In 2014, Corey got LAPI band surgery, and it helped him lose almost 200 pounds. He went from around 400 pounds to a way healthier size. That surgery changed everything for him, not just how he looked, but how he felt every day. He started eating better and working out all the time because he finally realized how bad he felt when he was heavier. The surgery and new habits were super important to keep his prediabetes from turning into full diabetes. But Corey's fight wasn't only about his body. All the recent stuff hit him hard emotionally too. The super sad death of his younger brother Adam Harrison on January 20th, 2024, he was only 39, really crushed Corey. Adam wasn't a Shueja T on Pawn Stars, but losing him hurt the whole family and fans a lot. Corey posted a sweet throwback picture on Instagram and wrote a heartfelt message about how much he missed his brother. All that pain, plus the crash and legal stuff, definitely messed with Corey's head and heart. Losing a brother is awful, and you could tell it hurt Corey bad. Even with all that, Corey has kept going strong. Some people online said he had a stroke or something, but that's just rumors with no proof. Right now, his health looks okay. He sticks to his diet and works out to stay in shape. The death of Corey Harrison's grandpa, Richard the Old Man Harrison, hit him super hard both as family and at work. Richard Harrison, a big star on Pawn Stars, passed away on June 25, 2018, after fighting Parkinson's disease for a long time. He was 77. For Corey, losing him wasn't just losing a grandpa, it was losing his teacher and best friend. Richard Harrison, everyone loved the old man for being tough but funny, co-owned the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas with his son Rick Harrison, and that shop was the heart of the show. Richard being there made the show awesome with his no-nonsense style and all his knowledge. Corey worked with his grandpa for 15 years and always went to him for advice. Their connection was way more than just business. Richard taught Corey everything about working hard and family. Richard's death left a huge hole in Corey's life, both in his feelings and at the shop every day. Everyone in the Harrison family and the shop workers felt it. Richard dying felt like the end of a chapter for the shop and the show. Nobody could replace his leadership and experience, so things got tough. Corey and his dad Rick had to figure everything out while being super sad about losing the head of the family. Corey's sadness got heavier because he had to keep the shop going strong without his grandpa there, Eve. Rear-eye day. The old man was the heart of the place, so Corey and Rick had to step up big time. That was a lot of pressure on Corey when he already had his own stuff going on. Pawn Stars fans were super sad too and sent tons of love and messages to the family. Richard's death showed how much people loved him and everything he did. His life and what he left behind got celebrated a lot. But for Corey, it was a personal heartbreak that really hurt him. Corey Harrison's net worth shows how smart and hard-working he is. It's around $4 million. Most of it comes from owning part of the super-famous gold and silver pawn shop and being on TV a ton. A few big things make his money. First, being part owner of the pawn shop brings in a lot because the shop is a huge tourist spot in Las Vegas and makes good cash from selling stuff and loan interest. Corey's part of those profits helps his bank account a bunch. The show made the shop crazy popular, so people keep coming and buying. Being on TV is a huge moneymaker too. As one of the main guys on Pawn Stars, he gets a big paycheck. The show opened doors for other TV gigs like American Restoration, Counting Cars, and I Bought a Funeral Home. Those extra shows add cash and make more people know him, which is great for getting more jobs. Plus, Corey wrote a book called License to Pawn, Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold-Silver Pawn Shop that tells his stories from the shop. Book money goes straight to him and makes people see him as a pawn expert, so he gets asked to speak and give advice. He also does ads for stuff like Pawn Stars merch and even a gun line. Those deals pay well and keep him in the public eye. Corey's smart with money too. He bought real estate and other businesses that make money from rent, dividends, and growth. Spreading his money around keeps it safe and growing. Real estate even helps with taxes. He started his own stuff like a clothing line with Pawn Stars designs that sells online and in stores. He also co-owns Chumley's Pawn Stars restaurant and bar in Las Vegas that makes money from food, drinks, and cool stuff for fans. His social media is huge, over 5 million on Instagram and over 1 million on Twitter, so he uses it to push his clothes, restaurant, and the show. Posts make people buy stuff. Being online a lot makes companies want to work with him more. The actual success of Pawn Stars is still a giant moneymaker. The show stays popular, gets millions of viewers, and makes the channel tons of cash. Being a main guy made Corey super famous, so he keeps getting paid and has a big stage for everything else he does. In Season 7 of Pawn Stars, Corey Harrison had a huge moment at the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop. He was tired of working so hard with no real ownership in the family business, even though he did so much. Corey told his dad, Rick Harrison, and Grandpa Richard Harrison straight up, "Give me a 10% piece of the shop, or I'm out to do my own thing." That was a bold move, and showed he knew how much he was worth. He'd been there since he was a kid, grew up to run the daily stuff, and managed 30 people. His knowledge and big buys were a huge part of why the shop rocked. Even with all that, Corey felt having zero ownership wasn't fair for how hard he worked. Everyone watching was on the edge of their seats, wondering if he'd really walk away from the family shop. Finally, Rick and Richard came back with a deal. Instead of 10%, they gave him 5% to ownership plus a raise and said maybe more later. That showed they knew he was super important. Corey took the 5% deal, and it was a big step to lock in his future with the shop. It also proved he still wanted to stick with the family thing, even if he didn't get exactly what he asked for first. By saying yes, Corey kept working there and set himself up to grow more. Even though Rick Harrison is still the main owner, Corey's bigger role in running things made him a key guy for the shop's future. And over the years, everyone saw he might take over one day.